Hello guys, in this video we're going to learn how to use math actions in ZeuZ. So in this simple example we're going to add different watches in our shopping cart, and then we're expected to calculate the shipping handling cost and also the tax. And then we're going to calculate our own total and we're going to compare this. There's going to be additional items here. The text itself will have a dollar symbol, so we'll need to extract only the numbers from it and then round it off as well. So let's go ahead and just start creating our test case. So we'll go to testing, create, and we'll call it shopping cart example. Right, we'll submit the new test case. Okay, we'll go to our steps tab and we'll add action above, steps above. So in this case, we go to demo. So select, this is step that's already created. So I'll remove the default step from here. Right. And now I'll go ahead and add my action. So I'll click on add action and web, go to web page, add action. I'll switch to my demo app, copy the web link and simply paste it, save, and now I'm ready to add my next action below. So in this step we're going to call it shopping cart calculation. All right, so let's go ahead and add our action. So in the first action, what we're trying to achieve here is that just click on these items, each one of them. So it's quite simple and straightforward. I'll just click an item and I'll activate my AI. So just click on this object and then add action by AI, and it has the ID for the name of the object. So I'll do that. And then again, I'll do the click again on the object and add action, web, click an item, add action by AI, add action, and the last one, we'll just do that. I've clicked on that. Now I'll go ahead and do the same thing. Click an item, add action by AI, and that's pretty much it. So I've got the 3 watches added now. So let me just manually do this quickly. So I'll just do this, this, and that. So we've got $867. We want to validate that, the tax and the shipping costs combined is going to add up to that. So let's go ahead and inspect the, first we'll do the calculation for our math, and then we will inspect this object to capture this and extract the number. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add my action, and I'm going to search for math. And here's my math action. So math is basically we declare a variable and then we just assign whatever the calculation we want to do. So let's go ahead and add this action. So in this case, I'm just going to remove the text from the sample data. So here the variable name, I'm just going to call it total cost. And in my calculation, the total cost would be $299, $200, and $245. So let's just do that first. $299, $200, and $245. All right, and then I am going to be adding $10 on top of that. So plus $10. And then I'm going to apply a 15% tax. So that would be times it by 1.15. That would give me the total cost of $867.10. All right, so now that we have this calculated, we need to capture the actual cost. So let's call it calculated total cost, and now we're going to add the extra save the text. So let's just activate the AI, and I'm just going to click on this, and now I'm going to save text. So save text. So I'm trying to save the text here. So I click on this, add action by AI, and it's basically the total. So I'll just add action. And this is the variable that we want to save it as. So calculate total cost, calculated total cost, and we'll call this one, let's say, actual total cost. And this will now save this, the value from that object, total. One thing we have to keep in mind is that when we add all these items here, this string itself has a dollar symbol. So you can see there's a dollar symbol. So when we try to compare with our value, the actual calculated value, it's not going to match, because we're going to compare this string with the ones that we're going to generate. Additionally, when we're calculating this, it will obviously give us a not a rounded number. So we need to round both of these numbers. And for this one, we also have to extract and round it off so that they're all both identical. So let's go ahead and do the extraction and rounding off for the for this object right here. So I'll go ahead and add action, and I'm going to search for rounding, and it's basically the same function for extracting and rounding. So let me just go ahead and add the action first, and then I'll explain. So this from is basically the variable that we are saving it, and then to, we can call it something new as well. So we'll call it maybe extracted and rounded, and then same thing with this one. So if I look at the first number, it's a from. So in this case, let's say I'm rounding this one off first. So I'm going to say this, and for the value, I'm going to say rounded and extracted. Okay, so rounded, extracted, actual total cost. And in this case, the index is basically, let's say that you have a string, and then there is a there are multiple digit in there, and in that case it will extract it as a list, and in that case you may have to provide an index of your list. We won't go to the details of it. We'll talk more about these advanced features later. So these are all optional options. So I'm gonna close that, and we need this one here. So round. So in this case, we need to round it off. So to round it up to a full number, we can mention 1 or 2. So we'll round it up to two digits and so on. However, if we want to go to the decimal value, we just have to put a negative sign in front of it. So let's say that we wanted to have a 2-digit, something like, I'm showing this as an example. Let's say we have some numbers like that, and we want to make this into 34.45, then we need to put -2. So this -2 will then round this off to this 2-digit. All right, so in our case, we want to do -2 because on the display it is 2-digit. So we'll do the same thing for this one as well. So I'm just going to copy this one now at the bottom. So I have my calculated cost. So this is the what I have, and this one will be rounded calculated cost. Since there is no string here to extract, we just set rounded to calculated, and that should then match both of them. So now we need to compare these two variables that we have: the calculated the total cost and the actual calculated. Okay, so let's go ahead and compare these two variables. So when I say compare variables, it's a common under common utilities. So I'll just do compare variable, add action. Okay, to call the variable, we need to have the percentage ampersand. So I'm just going to clean up the string here, and we can now put this one the rounded off from our calculated, and we're going to compare this with the rounded extracted total cost. And that should be our validation. So just to recap what we did here in this example, first of all, we clicked on each of these watches. So I'm just going to reset the page. So we clicked on each one of them and we collected $867.10. And now we are also calculating on our own, is this the right number? And here we're saving the actual cost on the web page, and then we're rounding it off first, the web page one, and then we're running off the calculated one that we calculated on our own, and then we're comparing the two variables. That's all. We're now ready to go ahead and run the test case.